Whether delivering gravel, groceries, or lumber, our Canadian truckers are an essential part of our supply chain and Canadian economy. But because of these Liberals' inflation crisis, the cost of operating those trucks has skyrocketed to the point where some companies are actually having to park their trucks. They're actually losing money by working. And what is the Liberal solution to this supply chain crisis? They're going to triple the carbon tax. How does that even make sense, Mr. Speaker?
The Honourable Minister of Transport.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians know that over the last couple of years, with economic disruptions around the world, our supply chain here at home and around the world have been impacted. Our government is taking action, Mr. Speaker. I've been meeting with truck companies, with truck drivers, helping them find new truck drivers, making sure that they have the support that they need. And I tell you, Mr. Speaker, you know what they were telling me? That those occupiers here in Ottawa and at the borders did not represent the trucking industry, and they were disappointed that the Conservatives were supporting them in their illegal actions.
The Honourable Member for Edmonton Mill Woods.
Mr. Speaker, there's something seriously wrong in this country when working more actually makes you lose money. Now, to fight inflation, we need to reduce the cost of transporting goods. But when they triple the carbon tax, that will make everything more expensive to deliver, which will make the goods more expensive. So I'm going to ask again, when will they stop their tax hikes and stop beating up on our truckers?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives are out of touch. They're out of touch with what's happening in the global economy. They're out of touch with what is happening here at home. They're out of touch with what's happening with climate change. Our government, however, is focused on helping Canadians, on helping Canadian businesses, on helping truck drivers. We remain focused on doing the right thing to support our economy, to support Canadians during this difficult and challenging time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Carlton Trail, Eagle Creek.
Time and again, Liberals stand in this place and point to other countries as an excuse for the cost of living crisis here in Canada. Future leader of the Liberal Party, Mark Carney, disagrees with them. This is now a made-in-Canada problem. Contrary to what the Prime Minister and his deputy believe, they cannot get out of the mess they've made by borrowing more money. With $170,000 added to the debt every minute counts. When will the Liberals cancel their out-of-control inflationary spending?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, our government will never apologize for the compassionate support that we are providing to the most vulnerable Canadians. But you know what, Mr. Speaker? We have found a balance between that targeted compassionate support and fiscal responsibility. And I'm going to give you some data points, Mr. Speaker. Moody's has reaffirmed Canada's AAA credit rating with a stable outlook. That means that Canada is the third largest AAA rated economy in the world. Let me also remind this House, Mr. Speaker, we have the lowest deficit in the G7 and the lowest debt to GDP ratio.
The Honourable Member for Carlton Trail, Eagle Creek.
Well, here's what that government should be apologizing for, and it's their wasteful spending record. $54 million on the Arrive scam app, $400,000 for the Prime Minister's delegation to London, including a $6,000 a night suite, CERB checks to prisoners in organized crime, a $237 million contract for ventilators to a Liberal insider. And we now know they've paid more than $500 million in damages for their mismanagement of the Phoenix pay system. When will this Liberal government stop their wasteful inflationary spending?
The Honourable Minister of Immigration.
Mr. Speaker, if you actually tune into this place over a couple of months, you're going to realize the economic argument the Conservatives have been making is self-defeating. On the one hand, they say people are in need of more help, and at every opportunity, they oppose measures that are going to give more help to people. From the very beginning of my time in office in 2015, they opposed measures that actually deliver cash supports to households. They opposed a tax cut for the middle class. They opposed investments in the Canada Child Benefit. They're now arguing against protecting the Canada Pension Plan and strengthening EI. During the pandemic, they didn't just oppose some of our measures. Their new leader held a press conference to say he would not support big, fat government programs that kept my neighbors fed and a roof over their heads.